We now come to the final chapter, the Perek Yud of Megillat Esther, a short perek of just 3 psukim. The first 2 are all about Achashverosh, about the taxes that he imposed over the mainland and the islands, about all of his powerful and mighty deeds, and also Parashat Gedulat Mordechai Asher Gidlo HaMelech, and also the fact that Achashverosh elevated Mordechai to his position of prominence and recorded all of these deeds in the chronicles of Parasu Madai. And then finally, we conclude with the fact that Mordechai was the number 2. And he was highly regarded. V'gadol ha'Yehudim v'ratzui l'rov echav. Doresh tov le'amo v'dover shalom l'chol zaro. He sought the good for all of his nation, and he interceded for the shalom of all of his kindred. The question is, why do we shift and why do we end as we do? There are a number of different explanations for this. One position is that we end with Achashverosh to simply indicate that the Jewish people, with all of their achievements, were still under the rule of Achashverosh. He still could impose a tax. He still was powerful. And all of this is recorded in the chronicles of Parasu Madai. But there's another possibility as well. And that is that at this point, once Achashverosh understands who Esther is, he then placed a tax over everyone else because he extended to the Jewish people his favor. He told them, as the Targum Sheni of Esther explains, that the Jews were no longer responsible for taxes, and therefore he had to tax others to make up for all of these problems. And yet there's even a third possibility. The third possibility is mentioned by David Dauber, who explains that when Mordechai came to power, he wanted to make sure that Achashverosh understood that his initial motivations regarding the Jews, which were financial in nature, promises of wealth, and also the fact that the Jews were no longer involved in the rest of the needs of the nation, that those promises could be fulfilled without destroying the people, that it was possible to put a tax and to make up the difference in what could be done. And we shift then back to Mordechai. After we explain all of these possibilities and we tell that Mordechai was Doresh Tov, that he was the one who sought goodness for the people. He understood that ultimately we can't sit back anymore. We need to be proactive, and that's the meaning of the word Doresh. And he was Dover Shalom L'chol Zaro, and he also understood that at this point in Jewish history, after the military victory of the Jews, after they were able to celebrate Purim and establish it as a holiday, there was a fear that could also be present, and that is that the Jews would shift from being the people who sought goodness and peace into a people who thought that power was the answer to it all. And so this Megillah ends with a very, very important message, that it's all about Tov and Shalom. It's about seeking goodness and seeking peace, that we are a nation who has achieved so very much, who has stood up when necessary to stand up for our own lives, who has political power at times, can achieve amazing things with God's help. And yet at the end of the day, we have to be Dorshei Tov, seeking goodness, V'dovrei Shalom, and people willing to bring peace into this world. Chag Purim Sameach, have a freilich in Purim, and it's been wonderful to learn with you Megillat Esther.